welcome back to the Market Conversation. I'm Rico Zeredo, Head of Business Development at Nuremberg Messe Brazil, and today we'll discuss the artificial intelligence and the latest advances for vision inspections in production lines. Today we have here with us Jean-Pierre Allard, who is the Vice President and CTO of Jekson Vision in the USA. Welcome, and thank you for participating with us, Jean-Pierre.
De nada.
So we're going to start with some basic questions. What are the main benefits that artificial intelligence brings to visual inspections in production lines in the industry today?
Okay. Well, the first thing is when a customer wants to teach a new product on the line prior to do it, with traditional artificial intelligence, it was taking more or less 15 minutes to teach a new recipe for a new product. With machine learning and deep learning concept, you just show to the computer 20 good products, two without anything, like for example, a blister will be everything is empty, and then the computer will figure out by itself all the parameters. So now the operator doesn't need anymore to set up all the parameters because the computer does it by itself. The computer learns by itself what is tolerable. So the benefit is that at the end, before we had to put tolerance of about 8%. And now with artificial intelligence, we can go down to 4% because the machine learning actually makes parameter much more precise.
And also there's a time reduction.
Exactly. So it takes about 3 minutes to do the recipe instead of 15 minutes to do the recipe. And it's more precise. And we even find sometimes defects that before with traditional methods we would not find. For example, now in the bottom of a blister, we can find if there's powder. And before, if there was powder, we would not detect it.
Fast. Now it makes a lot of improvement in the quality.
Yeah, so better quality, exactly.
And how are machine learning and deep learning especially being applied to improve the efficiency and accuracy of visual inspections in production environments?
Okay, so as I said, before machine learning and deep learning that we developed at Jekson, first we had to train the user a lot. So there were about 25 parameters that they had to understand, like the quantity of blue, the quantity of red, the quantity of green. But then you have to understand that if it's yellow, it's actually a mix of two colors together. So it was very complicated. So now, and very often the customer was not setting it correctly. They were calling us saying, it doesn't work. And then we had to do it for them. But now nothing of this is needed anymore. Now the customer only needs to show good product, and the computer does it by itself. So because of that, now all the parameters are much well defined. So the computer does a better job than what the operator was doing in the past. So we have a better quality at the end and much more precise.
Yes. And what are the most common challenges when implementing artificial intelligence systems for visual inspections in different segments of the pharmaceutical industry?
I would say that the first fear that most companies have is about validation. Okay, so the quality department will say, hey, wait a second, I don't want something that changes all the time. So I want to assure you something. So the machine learning and deep learning algorithm are only used to make the recipe. Once the recipe is made, then during the lot, it's going to be a traditional AI using the parameter that the machine learning did before you start the lot. So, but many customers, we have to talk with them a lot, so they are secure about that, because initially people are kind of afraid of the new technology. But so because of that, we do it only for the teaching. So that's one of the things. The other thing is that when you go with machine learning, it's like a kid. It's like a human brain. So for example, let's say I teach to a computer, this is a cat, this is a cat, this is a cat. Okay, the computer will understand what is a cat. It's like if I did it with a children. But if I tell my daughter, this is a cat, maybe she'll say, hey, daddy, look, this is a cat. So, oh, no, this is a tiger. A tiger. Then my daughter will understand, okay, the tiger has a bigger head, a different color. It's the same with the computer. So if you give good examples, but not enough, then the computer might make a mistake. It's like if I would give you just a few examples, I don't give you a tiger, and then when you see one, you think it's a tiger because it's very similar to a cat. So now we see the same kind of problems. But in order to fix that, for example, for our blister machine, yes, the customer will only bring 20 products, but us in the initial algorithm, we train the algorithm with 1 million different tablets of all kinds. So we have a very, very good now algorithm that knows every kinds of tablet, and then the customer just just puts its own tablet. So it just put like a subset of the million of images that we already have of what is a tablet, all kinds.
So the machine learning, the system you when you provide it, it already come with a set of background
Pre-trained.
already.
It's very important.
Yeah,
Because we cannot ask our customers to put 1 million images.
exactly. But it's important what you said. Like you have to teach as it is a kid. So it's empty brain, like empty because you already have not empty completely because you have already trained before. But it's like training a person. From the beginning, what is good, what is wrong, and then the machine will do it by itself.
So we have to consider now that the machine learning, because it has been programmed exactly like our neurons. So it's the same way than a human. Another example that I can give you is I forgot about it. Sorry.
No, go.
I was thinking about it, but then it's gone out. So this is the problem with the human brain.
Exactly. If it was a computer, it would never happen.
Exactly.
And how is computer vision technology being successfully integrated into the production lines to automate inspection processes? I mean, in general, not only from the pharmaceutical, but like in general.
Okay. So what is important is two things. The companies are looking for, of course, to have a good quality. They're also looking to reduce their costs. And a way to reduce the cost is to remove people from the line. And let's be honest. The job of looking at a product going by all day long is a job that will drive you crazy. Okay. And the problem with that is that even when you look at something all the time, you can even create something that is missing. So that's the main benefit of putting a computer, is that the computer always shows up on time every morning.
Never gets tired.
He's not thinking about what he's gonna eat tonight.
Yeah.
He doesn't take a break. And it's always the same. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you before. When you think about all the facial recognition software, well, it's the same. These algorithms has been trained with all kinds of human face, so it already knows what's a human face, and then it's gonna know when you show your own face. Now it's gonna know, okay, this is what is particular with you. So it's the same example that we do with our products. So we have trained with so many tablets, and then when you show your own tablets, then we know exactly.
He recognizes it. Yeah.
Exactly. So sorry, it was somewhere.
No, but this is interesting because when you use the, of course, I have like it's the human side, right? That people get tired at their job, they have problems at home, they'll like bring to the work undoubtedly. But when you have a machine, not only save time because of this and cost because of people cost, but you get time efficiency and you reduce the amount of scraps during the production.
Yes, and that's like a very good point, because in the pharma industry, I would say it's easier because the products are similar. I mean, a tablet is a tablet. The tablet press are very precise. It's always look the same. Now think about the food industry.
Exactly.
Think about a cookie. The chocolate chip will always be the different spots. And even the size of the chocolate chip, depending on the orientation, will be different, because that chocolate chip is like a little pyramid that can look differently. So with AI now, with machine learning, the machine can distinguish a chocolate chip anywhere with a piece of plastic, a piece of carton, like something that does not go there. And before, with traditional AI, because traditional AI, not machine learning, you have to tell exactly how to think to the computer. So it's too complex to program all these possibilities of chocolate chip being anywhere. But if you do it with machine learning, it's like a big black box that you send all these images, and then like the human brain, it finally understands, okay, I can see all kinds of chocolate chip. It's always good, but when it's something different, it's not good. So I would say that the food industry is probably the industry that in the next 5 years will benefit the most from the latest advance in machine learning and deep learning, because so far there's a lot of companies I visited that they have sometimes up to 10 people on the line looking at, because these lines are very fast. So they're all looking at different rows, and then if they have a problem, they take a big shovel and they scrape. So
I have no idea if it's a whole lot which is wrong,
exactly.
or if it's
and I will not give you name, okay?
Yeah.
But I visited companies that every month they reject about $100,000 per month of food waste. And and now we start to talk with this company, and now we're going to be able just to eject the only product that got a problem. So they're going to save like millions of dollars over the years. So for me, it's inevitable. Like the food industry, which was always kind of more away from artificial intelligence. Now with machine learning, deep learning, finally we have a solution for them.
It's going to be amazing because, as you said, like the cost reduction, and also in the case of food, the food waste, especially nowadays, we need to be reduced. So it's a really good technology. And as you said, previous technologies, where you would say like in a chocolate chip, what is black ball? If is this chocolate or plastic, it will never know.
No, it was impossible before. So now it's pretty amazing. And what we don't realize is that what I'm talking about today, 5 years ago was not possible. It goes really fast. Actually, all the machine learning, deep learning started back to 2003. But 2003 was when 3 universities decided to work together, and all the rest of the world were saying, these guys are fool, they're losing their time. Okay, and now one of them is now working for Facebook, one of them is now working for Google, and the other one started his own AI company.
And everybody's putting AI everywhere.
Yeah. So, but these guys, they changed the world. I mean, if you think about the automated car, if you think about the chatbots, if you think about, for example, you go to on Amazon, and then Amazon gives you recommendation of other stuff. It's all AI.
Yeah.
Or when you receive a text message telling you, hey, did that purchase? It seems like fraud. It's not a human. Now it's a computer that looks all the transactions you've done and it says, oh, this is not part of his usual behavior. So that's how now fraud is detected much quicker. So there's many aspects that within the last 5-10 years, AI is going everywhere. So AI is really the next big thing in the world.
And also like taking this move and thinking about the future, what is the future trends in the field of visual inspection using artificial intelligence or any other technology that it may come? How the technology will evolve? What do you think?
Okay, so well, the main thing is that there's a lot of inspection that we cannot do today. Okay, for example, one is that is very difficult is to inspect in vials. So now I'm talking about pharma. You know the little vials.
Yeah.
It can be a piece of glass. It can be
down the bottle.
And the problem with vials is that when you eat a tablet, your body with your intestine, it will kind of filter the bad. If there's a bad product, it will not go in your blood. But a vial goes straight to your blood. So it's on the other side of your line of defense. So some people can die, and people died already many times because there was something in the vial, a fiber or whatever. Okay. So the problem is that when you want to look inside, well, all the particles that are not supposed to be there are at the bottom. So then the technique right now is to spin the vial so it creates a vortex, and then they go up, and then we take pictures. But then you get all these little bubbles of air. How can you take it's a bubble or it's a particle? So now with AI, it even looks at what's the speed they're going, what's the position in terms of where it is in the vortex. Because if it's around the vortex, it's going to go faster. If it's in the middle, it looks. So it's pretty amazing. And once again, with machine learning, instead of telling the computer, oh, look for this size, no, it will understand by itself. So to answer your question, there's many type of inspection that were not possible before that now we can think about. So for example, at Jekson, of course, what is not out on the market, I cannot tell you everything, but I can tell you we're working on 5 different platforms of things that nobody did for the moment. The great thing with Jekson is that our president decided 4 years ago to create a new office in Italy. So now we have 15 people. There are only 15 people, but doing only AI. So they're not distracted by the projects or elsewhere. So because of that, Jekson is, I believe, 2 years ahead of the rest of the competition. So, and this is what we're doing. We're currently working on the future, on types of inspection that do not exist right now. So that's what I see as the main advantage is now things that we're thinking, okay, for example, vials. I visited a customer that they were looking at vials. They had 11 people every day to look at it because they have to look at it at least 30 seconds, shake it, look at this like this, through behind a black background, a white background. I mean, it's crazy. So if we have a machine that does that without doing the spinning.
As you said, I have never thought about the vial inspection. Yeah. And as you put now, it's something that's really important because it's part of like the basic health that we need. So even for vaccines or at the hospital, if you're getting a treatment. And this kind of inspection, as you said, it's kind of almost life and death situation. If something goes wrong.
Yeah. So there's vials. There's also pouches, that are going next to your bed when you're in the hospital. Same thing. there's bubbles and everything, there's plastic. It's a thick plastic that you don't see well through it. But that's the beauty with machine learning. It can remove the noise. It can remove, think about Shazam.
Yeah.
You know, even though you do Shazam, 5 years ago you were using Shazam, you say, hey, shut up, I'm trying to do Shazam. Now you can have Shazam and much
They build a party and it understands exactly what the
Shazam will just ignore the rest like a human brain can do. Like for example, right now there's noise around, but I'm listening to you. So the machine learning is doing exactly the same. But before, a traditional AI was looking at everything equally.
I'm impressed. It's really
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very changing. And what do you think is the key requirements for developing and training effective AI models for real-time visual inspections?
What is that? Can you repeat this?
So what are the key requirements for developing and training effective AI models for real-time visual inspections?
Okay, so back to what I explained initially. Every time we develop a new product with machine learning and deep learning, well, the word deep in deep learning, it means that we have to show immense amount of data, okay? So that we really, the computer will really understand. So it means that before just telling the programmers, okay, this is it, do it. No. We have to look in the market, everything that exists. And then we have to gather all these pictures and then train the machine with the right picture. So if we don't, it's like garbage in, garbage out. So if we only, for example, let's say we have a new application with vials, but I would just give little vials all the time with only 1 or 2 types of defect, it's not gonna be as effective. So then we need to go see different customers, ask them, all of them, what's the kind of defect you see, what's the type of size, and then we have to gather pictures of all the use cases in the industry. So for us, this is the main challenge, because if we don't do that, then when we sell the same machine to another customer, it's not gonna work, because the machine is not like it's not doing magic. It's like you. If I don't tell you something, you don't know it.
Exactly. You have to teach.
So the machine is like a human. It doesn't know what it doesn't know.
But the good thing about the machine is that so humans, we have a limit of knowledge that we can put in our minds.
Yeah.
And while the machine, as much information you give to them, they will the machine will keep this information with him and will use it. So
absolutely,
the more information you give them, give to the machine, the better.
That's the key. That's really the key. The other thing, you know, when we think about the car industry, like driving a car, I tell you, in 20 years or even before, it's going to be an old thing. Why? With your eyes, you only see a good resolution in the middle, but everything around is not good. For example, if you look at my hand, you see it well. If you look at the other end,
yeah, it's already another phone.
Yeah, exactly. So when you drive, you see more or less what is in front of you. But if there's like a little kid over there, you might not even see it. A camera has a perfect resolution everywhere. So we're going to be more secure by cars driven by a computer in the future than us, because the computer will see way more. It will see 360 degrees all around us with a much precise view, and it will never get distracted. For example, a personal story. Six weeks ago, I was in Dallas, Texas, and I was going back to the airport, and then I see a big black smoke in front of me. Actually, there was a car on fire. So then it was on the other side. So at the last minute, I was very close. I ended the car for 2 seconds. When I looked again, people were braking. Bang! So I did a mistake because I got distracted for 2 seconds. But imagine if there would be a camera all around me, the car would have stopped. Exactly.
So this has happened to me, that I was driving, and but then the car braked itself.
Yeah.
And
the new cars.
The new cars. Yeah, and it's pure artificial intelligence technology.
Absolutely.
And it was like so the traffic, but it was the same thing. I got distracted like 2 seconds looking to the side, and then the car just braked. It saved me.
Yeah. So and I'm still alive, but the car.
And I also keep thinking, if we come to the point that all cars are connected and all cars have this intelligence, even traffic would be better, because then the cars will talk to each other, and then we're gonna be
stop changing lane all the time.
The traffic gets better. we take the anxiety out of us. But one good question is, so when we implement the system, the AI system, how it handles the variations in light conditioning, lighting conditions, viewing angles, and different types of materials. So it's all the training.
Actually, this is the beauty of machine learning and deep learning, is that because a change of for example, let's say they have a big neon and small ones. or they have sunlight coming in.
Yeah, make a total difference.
Exactly. Well, this is called noise. For me, as a, in technology, we say this is noise that we have or we don't have. So because of that, now the computer can take it out. Or another example could be when we look at tablets in, this is not for blister, but when the tablets are going in a bottle, okay? Before they go in the bottle, they're in a big bar called a slat, and it's like cavities where there's a tablet in each one, and then eventually it's gonna drop. So if the tablet is broken, it's gonna be deeper. But because it's deeper, it's gonna be darker, but the color is the same. So now the computer can separate the intensity of light with the color. So if the computer understands that it's the color that matters, it's going to only look for the color. So obviously for a slat inspection, we know that if there's a difference of intensity, it's because the tablet is broken because it goes lower.
Yeah.
But in the case of a blister, which is like always the same height, then we can tell the computer, okay, don't consider the intensity. So then even though the light varies, it doesn't matter. So because it even sees around it, okay, the light is now bigger. So that's it. So
He understands that it's a condition that is to be taken into consideration.
So, when you think about the benefits of AI, deep machine learning, because AI is like, we've done AI for years and years. AI is just to replace the human brain. For example, a computer that plays chess against you, it's AI, but it's only rules that are all programmed by a human. Machine learning, it's the machine that put up its own rules by itself. And one of the main advantage of that is that it's much more immune to noise. So to answer your question, actually, it's going to be, machine learning is improving that. So we're becoming much more immune to variation around. So for us now, we get better results.
Good. I have another question here,
Sure.
which is the most interesting or impactful use or cases of artificial intelligence vision inspections that you have seen or implemented in an industrial environment. But in the food industry, you have already said, so need to find another example.
Well, I'm going to say probably the latest platform we released, it's called Be Smart. Usually it was BIS, Blister Inspection System. So the Be Smart, now, before we were going, as I said, like up to 700 micron of defect. Now we can go down to 300 micron of defect because we remove noise, so the computer can be much more precise. Like as I said earlier, we now see powder, which we didn't see. Actually, we were not even expecting that. So there's a few benefits that say, oh wow, now the ergonomy is finding this and that, and it was not even in our specification. So that was kind of amazing to when it's like when you ask an employee to do something and then he comes back with even better. So that's what happened with that application. So the Be Smart. For every time now we have a customer that wants to test it, they then replace all the other machines because it's like, oh my God, this is much better. Because before they have to put a lot of tolerance, and then sometimes they accept bad product because they don't want to eject all the products all the time, so they have to extend. But with us, the tolerance are very, very tiny, so it only ejects the real bad product and it keeps underlying the good product. So this way they're saving money as well.
These vision inspections can also be implemented not only in other industries as well, like packaging and everything, right? Or almost specific for...
Oh, it can be, for example, in metal industry, which is already the case. For example, yesterday I was giving a presentation here. I was giving the case of a metal foundry that they're looking for impurity in the metal, and they've put AI, so machine learning. After 1 week, it had only a 10% precision. After 12 weeks, we're now at 95% precision. So the machine keep learning and learning and learning, and then it went to saying it's not good, then the human could say, no, this is actually good. So the machine, okay. So the algorithm was getting better and better. So actually, it's a lot. All the industries right now should look at that because
it's applicable everywhere. Yeah. Good. And so my last question is: how can companies start adopting and effectively implementing AI solutions for vision inspections in their production lines? What are the fundamental steps to have a success in this process?
Okay. Well, first is to understand what defect they're looking for. So this is important. If they just tell us, "Oh, I want you to eject any foreign object," we're gonna say, "Yeah, but is it gonna be wood? Do you have wood in your factory, or there's no wood?" If there's no wood, it's not the so. So the first step is to really do a specification of all the defects they're looking for. and then to give us a lot of product, so then we can kind of train the machine with that. For example, let's say for the cookies, I would need probably hundreds and hundreds of different cookies from them, from different batch, different day, so we can see the variation of color, the variation of whatever aspect that they have. So this is quite important. But this is the only part that the customer wants to do. So it's like where they have a pain, where they know that they have a quality issue, or where they want to reduce resources. And most customers we have, they don't fire the people. They just give them something else to do, which is actually better for these people, because the job of inspecting all the time, it's not a job that you want.
No, it's true. And so I would say that a key element for the implementation of the AI as a vision inspection will be like the training of the machine. So know that this implementation takes time, and we need to teach the machine as much as possible so you can make the better work. And at the end, it pays off.
Exactly. There's always two steps. At Jekson, in our factory, we will train the machine for this application. So we'll take, a lot of, and even on Google Image, we'll look everywhere we can. So to take all what we can. Then at the factory, every product that they have, let's say they do 3 types of cookies, well, they have to train 3 types of cookies, and there's going to be a recipe for each one. And then we only need like 20 cookies and only one time, then we're good. We can keep it. As I said, it can be optimized, but it's really in the first place that we also need all kinds of defects they got in the past. So sometimes a project can take months, because we're going to meet the customer, going to say, okay, now for the next 2 months, every eject you have, you keep it. You keep it in a bag, we want it. So don't just tell it anything. Anything is not a good answer. But we need to know what kind of defect you find. So then we'll train the machine to find these problems.
That's amazing.
So it's a process. So if it's a new application we never did, I will not be able to tell you I'm going to deliver next week. No. It's going to take 3-4 months. But let me tell you, once it's done, you'll never want to go back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because sometimes people, they tend to have something implemented quite fast, but they need to understand that to have something working properly, it takes a little bit of time. And once it's working, then, as you said, nobody want to go back to the previous applications.
Yeah.
Well, Jean-Pierre, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
De nada.
Hey, desculpa. Falo português. Estou quebequense da parte francesa do Canadá. So eu comecei a aprender português 5 anos atrás, mas eu viajo no Brasil talvez 3 vezes por ano para somente 1 ou 2 semanas. So eu preciso praticar mais. So para a entrevista hoje eu preferi inglês, porque está pouco mais complicado para mim de explicar em português que em inglês. So desculpa, mas se você quiser me escrever todas as dúvidas que você tem, eu vou estar feliz de responder.
Tá perfeito, português maravilhoso.
Não perfeito.
Tá ótimo. As redes sociais vão aparecer aqui embaixo. Obrigado por todo mundo mais uma vez e até o próximo Marketing Connections.